for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I'm Lisa. This is going to be obviously live, and Happy New Year! Woo-hoo! Let me tell you, I haven't done this show in 3 weeks, and I'm a little bit nervous. So that I know I got all the tech right, please type in the comments, let me know that you're here, say hi, so I know that you can see me and that you can hear me. Marlene, oh my goodness, are you watching from the UK? Oh wow, it's so great to see you. Thanks for coming to Veg. Okay, what about these beauties? Who knows what these are? Marlene, I think you're amazing. Let me give you a clue. They are not a musical act. These are Black Eyed Peas, and they're my favorite Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, Will, I Am, and Fergie, they're all guys. So, hi Rob. Black Eyed Peas are traditionally eaten on New Year's Day. It's a tradition in the U.S., particularly in the southern U.S., in the southern states in the U.S. And I just think it's a crying shame. Why in the world would we only eat these beauties on one day of the year? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So I want to show you one of the easiest and tastiest ways to cook up these black-eyed beauties any time of the year, not just on New Year's Day. Okay, let us get to cooking. I'm going to turn you down here. Be sure, if you're just joining me, thank you. And say hi in the comments so I know that you're here. Oh, I have something else very exciting to show you. Look what I got for Christmas. Isn't this absolutely amazing? Thank you, Susan, for this beautiful pot. So Marlene, who is from Peru, really, are they a traditional Peruvian food? I did not know that, Marlene. Wow, I'm gonna wanna know how you cook your black eyed peas. Hi, Dennis, thanks for joining. Okay, so I gotta get things cooking here. Black eyed peas in my beautiful new red pot. So, I forgot something very important. I soaked these overnight. Hi, Lauren. I soaked these overnight. Like most, I should say, beans, if you soak them overnight, it helps cook them. They cook much faster, and it helps make them a little bit more digestible and a little bit easier on your tummy. So Marlene says that all beans are traditional in Peru. That is so cool. I had no clue. Anyway, I soaked these bad boys overnight. If you forget, you can also do the quick soak method, which I'm not going to bother with this now. Simple water. Simple water. Yeah? High heat. And then let me tell you about all these little seasonings that I'm going to put in here. Aha! Marlene says that she soaks with oregano. I bet that helps with the digestion, yeah? Well, guess what this is, Marlene? This is oregano. Hi, Johnny. I'm gonna put my peas in the pot with some filtered water. I've got some dried oregano, and I've got some paprika. I love smoked paprika, so that's what I'm gonna use. In the pot, it goes with the beans and a bay leaf. I like to put a bay leaf with my black eyed peas, and then some thyme sprigs. You know what, I'm just gonna go throw the whole thing in there because they'll cook down. Now, since I've soaked them, you know what, I do wanna tell you about the quick soak method real quickly because it's really handy. You know, sometimes you're getting all ready to cook your black beans or whatever, your black eyed peas, and you forgot to soak them, and it's a bummer. All you gotta do is put them in a pot, cover them with 2 inches of water, boil, bring that to a boil for 1 minute, put the lid off, turn off the heat, and you're good to go. Yep, that is the same as quick soak, or as soaking overnight. Look at that, nothing to that in the pot. Marlene's oregano, a bay leaf, some smoked paprika, and a bunch of thyme that I still had in my garden. Okay, I'm gonna put that on the on the heat, while I show you these ones that I cooked earlier. Don't they look amazing? I wish you could smell them. They smell absolutely fantastic. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do this part, but I like to do this part. This is kind of a fancy schmancy cooking method. By the way, that was it. in the pot with the water and the seasonings. Cook until they're tender. Make sure you cook them until they're tender, because otherwise we'll be back with the tummy problems, yeah? Okay, this next part is absolutely optional, and I think it feels a little bit fancy schmancy, but I'm going to, in some olive oil, temper some additional seasonings. Isn't that fancy? Hi Heather Fairies, are you joining us from the cemetery? So tempering simply means, it's a trick I learned from Indian cooking, and I've got a couple professional chefs that actually watch this show, and it gets a little bit embarrassing because I know I might be getting myself into big trouble. But tempering, I think, maybe Akanksha can tell us if she's watching, is to heat some oil in a cast iron skillet and then heat some more spices or herbs. Kevin and Heather both from the cemetery, that's awesome. This is a jalapeno pepper that I'm gonna leave in the chunk because I don't wanna eat the jalapeno pepper, I just want the flavoring. And then some red bell peppers that I sliced into strips, yeah. And some onion that I also sliced into strips. What else have I got done in here? Some garlic. Can you see the minced garlic? Some minced garlic. So I'm gonna temper these, what do you call those? I don't know, flavorings. And I want to tell you why we want to eat black-eyed peas all year long, not just at the new year. First of all, they are absolutely full of fiber. Beans, the magical fruit, the more you eat, the more you, okay, so what? The more fiber you eat, the less likely you are to get that reaction, right? Hi, Tanika. They're full of protein. Where do I get my protein? I get my protein right here in my black-eyed peas. Besides, I wish y'all would quit yammering on about protein. We get enough protein in this country, for crying out loud. What we don't get enough of is fiber. Can you hear my aromatics sizzling away here, my tempering? I kind of lost my temper there for a minute about the whole protein fiber business. Okay, a good source of fiber, a fantastic source of protein. Fat-free, if you're concerned about that, and I hope you're not, but if you are fat-free, a good source of calcium. If you're mostly plant-based like I am, you hear that a lot too. Where do you get your calcium? Where do you get your calcium? Black-eyed peas, along with a lot of leafy greens, almonds, have a great source of non-dairy calcium, okay? Ooh, I wish you could smell these aromatics. Because they're full of fiber, they're gonna be filling, which is really great for weight loss, yeah? Good for your ticker. All beans are fantastic for our cardiovascular system. And remember that tummy business that I was talking about? Beans are fantastic for your tummy and good for your gut. It's so important to have a healthy gut. One reason is it helps us have good poops. It's okay, we can talk about poops on this show because they're very important. Okay, so here's what I would do now. I've kind of been yapping on. Those dried out a little bit. Probably a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I know, by the way, a little bit of pepper in my peas on the stove and a little bit of salt. Make sure that you salt your beans towards the end of your cooking time, because otherwise sometimes the salt can make the skin stuff and it can take forever to cook them. When my mom was making homemade baked beans for a family Christmas or something, and I don't know, either the beans were old, which also makes them take really, really long to cook, even if you soak them, or she salted them during the cooking process. The baked beans were in the oven for hours, and it was kind of funny. I'm sure she didn't think so at the time. All right, so here's how I would finish this off. Can you see me down here? There we go. I've got my cooked black-eyed peas in the pot with my water, my oregano, my bay leaf, my smoked paprika, salt, freshly ground cracked pepper. And then I'm going to take these beautiful, sizzling, tempered aromatics, and I'm going to stir them in. Now, of course, you can throw those in when you're cooking your beans, but I just like to do it this way. I think it's really fun to try some different things, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, one, you keep getting the same thing that you've always got, but two, it's really boring. So I just feel kind of fancy, but I want my professional chef friends, Akanksha and Chef Pam, to weigh in on this. whole business, if I made it up or if it's real. Isn't that beautiful? So not only have I got my beans with my fiber, with my protein, with all the other good stuff, I've got some veggies in here. We also need to eat a whole lot more veggies. Quit worrying about the protein, eat more fiber, eat more veggies, right? That's your resolution for the new year. Forget your resolution and make a veggie revolution. Woo-hoo. Okay, here is how I'm gonna enjoy these. I've got this lovely little salad. Kirsten, yes, salting can keep them from cooking. Yeah, it's okay to salt them, but salt them towards the end of the cooking time or after you've already cooked them sufficiently. All right, let's see, I don't want to make a mess here. So I've got this beautiful salad, speaking of veg, and I'm going to scoop out some of these lovely, they're just kind of soupy beans. Rob was saying, what are you gonna do with the black-eyed peas today? And I said, I'm gonna make soupy beans. Oh my gosh, isn't that, look at this. This is super cool, isn't it pretty? All those colors, talk about eat the rainbow. Yeah, they smell incredible. Let me give them a taste. Marlene has a fantastic suggestion. You could add, excuse me, you could add a scoop of rice to these. You could add some quinoa, speaking of Peru, right, Marlene? Add a cooked whole grain to this and that would be fantastic as well. So, black-eyed peas, not just on New Year's Day, but for every day, for fiber, for protein, no added fat, calcium, help you if you need to lose a little bit of weight, good for healthy gut, good digestion, good poops, good for your ticker. Thank you for watching me on Veg with Lisa Live. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week.